Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to Faded Town, the number one Pokemon podcast in the world. These are facts. Look that shit up in a book. Fucking Google that shit, Pokestats, whatever you gotta do. We're number one. This is your first time joining. I go over this all the time. We get the insight on the top players of this game, or the top streamers, anyone Pokemon related, and with that comes we get the best guests, and that didn't change today either. Today we got, I'd like to say, one of the most outlandish and close to one of the best deck builders in the game, Drew Kennett, boys. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much.
Yeah. How's your day going, dude?
I mean, good. Just got home from work, but
Right.
I'm tired.
So that's usually how we start off, anyways. Like, as a competitive Pokemon player, like outside of this game, like, what do you do? Like, live.
Yeah, so I just actually graduated college in May. So got a job. I work for State Farm in the banking department.
Okay.
So I'm doing some banking stuff. I'm training for a new position right now, and it's the most boring thing in the world. I fall asleep in class every day, just like high school.
Okay.
But I mean,
You're
just
still
chilling.
you're going back to school for masters or what?
I might in a year. So State Farm actually pays for master degrees.
Oh, that's dope.
So after a year of employment, I might go back for a master's. Right now, I'm leaning towards yes.
That's good.
So, but I'm taking a break for sure. I'm so done with school right now.
Dude, I'm like a semester away from graduating, and I'm
Very nice. That's awesome.
I need to do it. I've been sitting out. I've had a semester for the last like 2 years that I just all I have to do is do it. I have like a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I don't know. I just don't like to do anything. I need a master's, so I have to figure.
Right?
It out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, how'd this all start for you? Like, how'd you get into Pokemon? Is it something you've done since little, like, or
Yeah.
yeah?
So
Are you one of those? Are you one of those 1999ers or?
Yeah. Well, so my top ID is 5 numbers, so it's really
sick.
small. I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh when I was 7, and then when I was 7, how long ago was that? 18 years ago. So 18 years ago, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I went to this card shop down the road where I had Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments every Friday night, and then every Friday night they also had Pokemon League.
Okay.
So I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I always played Yu-Gi-Oh. I was one of those Yu-Gi-Oh players. And then when I a couple years went past by, and then one of my good friends who I was actually in chess club with back in elementary school, he was at the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament also, but he played Pokemon. I'm talking about Desmond Sue.
Okay.
His name goes around, but he's not really known at all. But he's one of my good friends. We played chess club together, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you try out Pokemon?" So I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was getting decent at Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm a 9-year-old thinking I'm all hot shit and everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'll play Pokemon. It'll be easy. And then I just like loved Pokemon, and I went to Worlds that year, qualified for Worlds through the grinder, and then the following year I just started winning and winning and winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was a junior into a senior, it wasn't even called that back then. It was 10 and under, 11 through 14, 15 and up. So back then I was just doing well, and then I placed top 32 at nationals one year, and then I was just always hooked onto the game.
That's what's
so. And then right now I even tell people, no matter how crappy the format is, I just love Pokemon. Like,
it's crazy.
I love it.
Like, it's crazy because a lot of people like I didn't start playing. Like, I collected the cards. I thought they looked cool, but I didn't know like how to really play, and then. I've always wanted to like sit down with someone who's played from when they were juniors and moving through this format. It's got to be like you pretty much grew up in this game now, right?
Oh yeah, this is the biggest part of my life actually.
That's fucking.
So
nuts.
It's really cool, and it's funny seeing a bunch of people play old decks and old format decks where I'm like, yeah, I mean I played those formats. Like, yeah, they're really fun. And I also don't like the old formats that much just because the decks people built, they don't see the whole format because I've always played weird decks, even when I was a kid. So it's like, I don't get to play those fun decks I used to play.
Yeah, it's fucking... Speaking of weird decks, I think... But you're by far... Yeah, I don't even think there's anyone even close to, like, relatable when it comes to when you take a deck that has no one even sees it coming, and you make it work. Like I'm looking at your limit list. I want to. Were you like in, because it doesn't go back that far. It only goes 16, 17. This so Galeo Laurantis, was that you?
Yep, that was me.
That was you. I remember that.
Ahmed.
I was like, that shit's busted.
Give Ahmed a little credit on that one. He definitely helped with the list.
And it's just like, people look at those decks, or look at that deck and go, it looks fun. But I always told people, because I was subscribed to someone's PC for so long and whatever, and I was like, if you ever see an article that Drew made, it's like, that deck might not look meta, but I promise you, it's good, because he will play that deck and he will do well with it. And people are like, what? And I'm like, and then consistently you're like, oh, here's Aerodactyl, boys. Here's Aerodactyl, and then here's Blissey. I'm like, and then here's Bird Trio, and I'm like, no one does that. That there's no one like when we had like Finnegan Lynch and all these people on here, and people bring up I'm a deck builder, and like, don't get me wrong, they are very good deck builders. They win tournaments and stuff, but no one does this. No one does. Yeah. Let me take X card that isn't seen good and go, I built it this way, and now I can compete. And like, what do you think? What goes into that? Like, what goes into that?
So my biggest thing is, I've been playing this game for so long, and I'm actually one of the players that plays this game because I enjoy playing the game. Like, I have a blast playing the game, and I want to play what I want to play, which a lot of people, I mean, it's weird because meta is never my thing. I've never been a meta player, and I don't enjoy the decks, which is only for Pokemon, which is really weird. Because, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic, if I play either of those games, I love the meta deck. Give me the best deck in the format, I'll play it. But for Pokemon, absolutely not. I need to play something different, because personally, I enjoy playing one of those rogue random decks that doesn't really exist, because more people notice me, and I enjoy those people seeing me and being like, whoa, you're playing Aerodactyl, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Right. Like, you're like the go-to for me when I have no clue what I'm gonna play. Like at Nats last year, no clue. I went there with your originally had an Aerodactyl list.
Yeah.
I went there with that Aerodactyl list. Russ messaged me. He's like, no more Aerodactyl. We're on Blissey. I'm like, I don't know about that. And then you sent me a list, and I was like, I'm playing Blissey.
And it was a blast.
It was a blast. It was the best. It was by far the best tournament I ever had. I was like,
so fun. Like,
I'll tell you right now, if I didn't forget to put the fucking bench barrier Mew in my list, I day two with you. Like, I remember we were both going in our winning ends, and I hit Pikarom, and I don't have the bench barrier. I'm like, this is so stupid. I should win this, man. It's free. It's so free. And I'm like, it's insane how fun that deck was. It was like, and it was good. It was so good. Like, if you flipped heads, there's no, like, it was insane.
Yep.
And then, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
I was saying, it's like, you take the game and make it way more enjoyable. Like, I just played Lucario for Dallas Regionals. I will tell you right now, I played 0 games. I went, round 1, I played Turbo Dark, I ran it over in like 2 seconds. Round 2, I faced Mewtwo, it ran me over. Round 3, I faced Shocklock, and I sat there for 30 minutes and lost. Right? Then I played Turbo Dark, and I won in 2 seconds. And then I played like an auto loss, and like I played 0 competitive games. It just wasn't fun. I was like, what is this? And then I see like Russ playing fucking Bird Trio, and like me and Josh practiced with Bird Trio for like a long time, and I'm like, the deck's good, but like I don't want to do anything, and I regret that. I regret that so much.
Yeah. And my favorite thing with the weird decks is when you say an attack like Sky Legend GX or Powerful Slap or anything like that, or when you pick up 7 dice and you just roll them, and all the people in your vicinity around you look over and they're like, what is going on?
Yeah, what is
And that's the greatest feeling, because you just sit there and you're just laughing. And let's be honest, no one's upset. I haven't had a single opponent be upset losing to Blissey or Bird Trio.
I have.
They never are.
I've had an opponent go, "That's not a real deck, and you shouldn't win." I'm like, nah, get fucked.
I agree.
And then the worst part was like, I went and I did well with Blissey, so after that we go to cups, and my buddy's like, "I'll play Blissey," and I've never won a cup. I've won 0 cups. I get to the finals, and it's against him, and he fucking rolls me with Blissey, and I'm like, "That's so stupid." So dumb. I can't win, and now I'm losing to fucking Blissey. And he wouldn't have played it if I didn't fucking tell him to.
I love it.
Yeah, that kills you.
It does change up what I have to say after the game's over, though, because it usually is a one-sided matchup. So instead of like good game or something, because I'm one of those people who, if it wasn't a good game, I don't want to hear a good game.
Correct.
So I kind of have been changing it up for that, where I'm just like, good luck. Chances are you won't play another deck like mine. So good luck.
I like that. But if you, I mean, let's get a little honest here. If you look at your Limitless in 2000, because we can only go back 2016, 2017, you went hard in the paint with Greninja, and you did really well.
Yeah.
You got a first, 12th, and 15th, and like at internationals you got 12th. That's insane. Yeah. And then you hit the Solgaleo, which you did well with, and then you kind of went back into meta with Volcanion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that meta back then? I don't remember.
No,
how much
that
meta
was,
that was.
I believe that was expanded.
Toronto. Let's look.
I believe that was expanded, and Volcanion was actually something me and Raul and like a couple of the other guys that we were hanging out with the night before was like, is this good?
Is this good?
And then we kind of just all went and played it. So it really wasn't, I wouldn't call it meta.
And you went, was it both of them were expanded?
Because it was no Max Elixir version, I remember. So
yes. Now I remember. Okay.
So it was right after it was meta. Right. But it was after it was best decking format. Is what it was. And
then you went on a run with fucking Warelord.
Yeah, sorry about that.
do you just like, because like with a lot of players, I mean it still shows with yours where you take a deck and you decide, you know what, I'm just gonna play this deck and I'm gonna play it the best I can play it and just win, and that seems like a great format. But like, do you believe that the way you play and the way you build decks hinders you from getting more consistent finishes? Or do you care? Like, you're gonna get your invite, you don't care, and you just want to play something fun, or is it like, would you rather be that player with a 6-page fucking Limitless that top 32s every tournament?
Yeah, so this is gonna sound bad, but getting an invite has never been a big deal to me.
Okay.
I randomly get it every year. Like I didn't try last year, and I think I ended up like 25th in NA because of my Blissey NA run, but NAIC run. But like I didn't even try, and I get points. So I'm not worried about getting my invite, and that makes it so I can play more fun decks. Yeah. Yes, I do think that, I mean, the funner decks that I play, they aren't consistent. Like, Correct. They do not consistently do well at tournaments. Like, I'm not going to try to tell everybody they do. But, yes. And that's why my finishes are kind of skewed out. It's not all consistency. Right. Do I think I could play the best deck and do really well consistently? Yeah, absolutely. I know the game. I'm really confident in how I play. But I enjoy having fun, and I'm sorry, playing Zoroark Zoroark Lycanroc was not fun. Right. I did not enjoy that. I just wasn't having a good time. I do like beating those decks.
Right. I'm in that right now where the meta that we're in right now with the ADP and that shit, it's just so boring. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And I'm like, where's Drew's fucking list? And you got nothing for
and
me,
it was
buddy.
This format's been bad for me too, because you can't do anything
There's
cool
nothing.
because there's nothing to do.
I started playing Fossils. It was so bad. I was like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
There's no way. Like, I
no
can't
way to
make
make
this
that
good. I can't make this good. It's
Yeah,
impossible. And then when I seen the
I did
80,
not play much this last quarter.
me neither. I played Zero Cups. I was like, whatever. I'm waiting for this Sword and Shield shit to drop. I'm like,
I'm so
it should be
excited.
fun. I'm excited because let me see what you got. You know what I'm saying? I'm down.
I'm so excited. I'm
Right.
really happy for this form. Ooh.
I wanna, cause you're on someone's PC, right?
Mhm.
How'd that all happen? Where did you and Russ just become friends? Because I know you're Arizona based, and a
Yep.
lot of those guys are East Coast, and then you got all
Right.
the California bros. So how's that story go?
Yeah, so Russell and I actually met in the Nationals where he played Flygon and
Okay.
I played Pyroar. So those were kind of the two secret decks that people built. Um, Pram built Pyroar and I built Pyroar, and we didn't talk at all back then, so it was just two random people made Pyroar. And then Russell had Flygon and another group had Flygon, and those were the big decks. So I met Russell. I think probably Jeremy Jallin introduced us, but I forget who actually introduced us. I think it was Jeremy.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like at that tournament, me and Russell are both like super into our decks when we like them. And I was like, there's no way Flygon beats Pyro. We'll beat you every time. Like, we have the Charizard EX. Like, there's no way. We beat you every time. And then he's like, dude, you don't stand a chance against us. So it was back and forth, like,
That sounds right.
which secret deck was better. Flygon was 1,000 times better. I'll say it now. There's no way we had a chance. Our chance was to draw our one of Charizard EX and hope it swept the game.
Right.
It was like, yeah, his deck was way better for that matchup. And then we just we talked here and there at tournaments. Like we became friends at that point. And then when they all started someone's PC, after a couple months, I messaged him and I was like, hey, you guys looking for a new member? And he was like, not right now. We're kind of just doing our thing. And then I won regionals. And he was like, hey, so remember when you wanted to be a part of the team? Yeah, so let me tell you how this works. And then it's great because he was straight up at the beginning where it was like, listen, this isn't like we're doing this in order to have all of our friends be able to go to these events. Like, we want this to fund our hobby so that we can hang out with our friends at every single event and hang out like a family. Right. And that's what it turned into. Like, they are the entire Someone's PC team that, like, it's not a team. Like, we are actually some of the closest people. Like, I love all those guys. And it's because of how we built it. We're not here to make money. We're not here to profit. We don't care about fame. Like, it's just, what can we do to make it so we can pay for our trips?
Right.
So it was just like, how can we do it? And like, we just wrote articles, and that's how we were able to fund our hotels and fund our flights and just like buy things, buy cards. So it was just really cool. It was such a good, and that honestly, even when the game was bad, it was like, well, it's fine. Like, I'm going to this tournament to hang out with my best friends. So it was really, it's awesome. It was such a good opportunity. Right. And then Russell was like, well, who do you think we should add? Because I was actually the first non-founding member on Someone's PC.
Okay.
So I was like, he was like, well, who do you think we should add now? We want to kind of grow. I was like, well, what about the Cali guys? The Cali guys actually might have been the ones who introduced me to Russell, thinking back on it. Like Kenny, Cali guys, Kenny, Keon, Mark Garcia, Israel Sosa.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how about the Cali guys? Like, they're awesome. We like them. Same situation as me. And they're like, yeah, down.
Yeah.
So it's just the really
whole
cool.
MTG deals
yeah, when they were that
down to fucking shithole. Then it was like team branded for a while.
Yeah, right.
That shit was hilarious.
It was weird.
Yeah. But with Russell stepping away from the game, like, how does that impact anything from anything, or is it just like you guys are still doing the damn thing?
It hasn't impacted anything. Russell's trying to get big into VGC, so he's still going to be around.
Are articles still going up like normal?
Yeah, no, they haven't been going up like normal.
Right.
Absolutely not. That's kind of a gray area right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not the best person to
To
talk to about
comment
that,
on that.
unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just a lot of the people aren't playing as much anymore. A lot
Right.
of the team
Yeah.
isn't playing much, myself included. But actually, I've been playing a lot. I've been playing a lot. I
We'll
really
figure it
still
out.
like
We'll
it.
figure it out. Right.
Like there was a couple months ago where I was like, okay, I'll write a bunch of articles. I just wrote like 3 articles, and I
Okay.
was like, I've been testing a lot. I know a lot about this format.
I'm
So,
gonna throw this
but
in.
yeah, I'm not the best person about the future of what's going on right now. But
Okay.
yeah, it is a weird transition right now
Right.
about what's happening.
All right. We'll leave it at that. That's cool. That's cool. So you go. You like. I feel like Russell. You're like the go-to guy for Russell as well, right? Like when it comes to deck building. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. And theorying weird shit. Yeah.
Hearing real shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, because I think Russell has the same mentality as you, unless he goes try hard, you know. But
Even
he
then,
likes to push it.
absolutely. Him and I have
Yeah,
talked about it where it's just like we're in the same boat of we're gonna get our invite, let's have fun.
yeah.
Like how can we have the most fun?
That's what's up. I like that mentality. I wish I could just steal an invite though.
Right?
Like that's why I told like everyone's like, "What are you gonna play?" Oh, they're like, "Fossils is good." Blah blah blah. This is good. I'm like, I'm gonna play fucking Malmar because I need points. All right.
Right.
Fuck you guys. Oh yeah, I remember because I went to fucking Arizona for a cup, and your ass is playing Metagross. I'm like,
Oh
why
yeah.
the fuck are you playing Metagross?
I'm just playing Metagross and we play in finals.
Yep.
And you're like, all right.
You go. This is when like N just got rotated, and so you GX and put like, was it like 10 cards in your hand or 5?
5.
I have no answer to that. Like,
And then the next
sure,
is like
dude.
Rare Candy Metagross, Rare Candy
Metagross?
Metagross, Rare
Yeah,
Candy
I'm like-
Regalia.
I'm like, this is dumb. And I beat it in Swiss somehow. I'm like, oh no, I won that. But we'll take this. But
Right.
that's why I tell people all the time. I'm like, there's not a lot of cups here in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I either go to Cali, where it's just a fucking bunch of killers that are like low-key killers, or I go to fucking Drew Bennett's fucking home place, where who knows what the fuck I'm going to play against.
I mean, we have a double cup weekend next week. Just saying, next weekend.
I'm gonna have to.
Saturday, Sunday.
Damn,
Just letting you know.
I
Throwing
might
it
have to
out there.
come. Fucking, I need points, but this meta's so trash. Send me a list.
Yeah.
I might,
I think one standard, one expanded.
I might have to just fucking play like I don't know. It's all trash.
Yeah.
It's all trash. I don't know. And I'm hoping I have to get. I only have 2 cups finishes. I need to get 6 more. I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, we still got 2 quarters.
Yeah, should be fine.
There's so much time.
Right. So outside the game, you just work, play Pokemon. You're not. Do you guys do any like coaching or anything?
No, so I actually coach because I don't think I'm a good coach to children. And that's the majority of who gets coached
Yeah.
because I'm very to the point. Like, I don't know
Right.
if anybody listening or anyone knows Oscar Morales.
Okay.
He used to play a lot. He's kind of getting back into the game. He's top 8 at Nationals before. But back when he top 8 at Nationals with Pyroar, we joke around the whole time because we were testing the deck together, and I legit made him cry because of how much I told him he was awful.
I think that's good though. Like I think I
Like,
need
he
that.
made a misplay, and I was like, dude, why would you ever do that? You're an idiot. And that's my coaching. It's like, why are you doing this?
I'm with you on the same. I say the same shit to people, and they get mad. Like I'm like, why would you? What are you doing? But
Right.
then it's like it makes no sense. And I think I'm in the same boat with you, where like I don't know if I could coach a child either, because that being that strict, or it's not even strict. It's more like I don't know how to say that's the wrong play, other than saying, "What the
Right.
fuck are you doing?"
And
What
I
are
can
you doing?
do it, but I don't know.
I
It's
don't
just,
want to do it.
yeah, it's like, I'm sorry.
I'm
when I see
sorry,
them playing
but
really
why did you
bad,
do
I'm just
that?
like, ugh.
Ugh. I
So yeah,
agree.
that's kind of why I don't coach. Is I don't feel like I'm
Right.
not a good coach for most people.
What regionals are you hitting this year, the rest of the year?
I was actually planning. I'm gonna pull them up on my phone really quick. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
because I
Because I was
want.
actually planning them out while I was supposed to be
Sorry.
learning my new role at work.
Okay, that's
Um,
good. That's
I,
good. That's good.
yeah, I was looking up like kayak to find flights and stuff instead.
Way better.
Yeah, so so the option I'm doing Salt Lake for sure,
Okay.
Santa Clara for sure, because
Yes,
those
those
are
are
the
where
West
I'm at.
Coast.
And then NAIC for sure.
NAIC should be for sure.
Okay.
I'm debating Germany still.
Okay.
Charlotte is leaning towards yes. Um, let's see here, and then Milwaukee's a maybe.
Okay. I want to.
So I'm planning. It's really up to if because of the six best finish limit, I'm
Right.
still undecided of if I'm gonna try for the top 16.
Okay. All right.
But
Look,
because it's six best finish, you can start going for top 16 really whenever.
that's true.
Like I have points from two regionals already, so four more if I can average decent amount of points there, go to two ICs. Like that should
Is it?
theoretically be enough if I finish well enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Is the cups? How do the cups work in that situation? Is it?
so the cups for top 16 for Worlds
Yes.
is only you can only get 520 points from cups and challenges
Okay.
for your overall total CP, invite included.
Okay.
So invite included, you can only get 520. The thing that's weird is you can get 520 every quarter
Yes.
for that quarter stipend.
Okay. So it'll only count for that. What is it? The fourth quarter that you'll have to hit cups hard.
Exactly.
Okay. That
So
that
it's
makes
like,
more sense.
yeah, so if you get 520 from first place at 8 cups and first place at 8 challenges in the first quarter, you have 520 points towards your invite and 520 points towards your quarter one
One stipend.
stipend.
Okay.
You go to quarter two, you win 5 more, or you win 8 more cups. Now you have those points towards the stipend, but you're still only at 520 points
So that's
for
good
your
because
invite.
like you go to these regionals and then you'll decide like, all right, I need to hit 8 cups this fucking quarter.
Right.
But if you don't go these, you don't end up going to these regionals. You're like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
And
it kind
it
of
does
makes that
make it
better.
it makes it so local people can potentially get a stipend. I think there was someone
Yeah.
in the first quarter who everyone was like, "Who is this guy?" And it's just some
Yes, I
guy who
remember
was
that.
just doing well at cups and challenges.
His name was fucking really bad though. I remember it
Yeah,
being like something like wizard or
I don't know
something.
who it was or what the whole story was, but yeah, exactly.
Who is this guy? But
Right?
I think it's dope. Like, because when I first looked into it, I was like, dude, you have to grind so hard. Like, if you
Right.
every quarter you have to get 8 cup finishes. But the way you explain it, it's way better. Like, if you're not,
Yeah.
unless you're going for every steepen, like, I
Yeah,
get there
exactly.
are some people that are, but
Yeah, and if you're doing that, more
that
power
grind's
to you. Yeah.
insane. Yeah, that grind's
I did it
super
once.
insane.
I don't need to do it again.
Right? As
Exhausting.
a player that's played so long, like how do you feel about the point system now compared to in the past?
I hate it.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay. What do you
but
prefer? Is there something in the
so
past that you prefer?
I like ELO rating. I do
Okay.
like that. I think it's a really good structure, except for like one thing that happened a lot with ELO rating. It was people would go undefeated during Swiss and drop out in top cut just so they wouldn't get a loss.
Loss.
But that was when there wasn't any prizes for winning.
That's
Like,
true.
oh, okay, I'll drop out in top 8 because if I win, I'm getting like 2 boxes. Like, I
Mhm.
don't care about that. Like, it happened a lot with Jeremy Jallin,
Yeah,
where I think it happened at nationals, where he did really well at nationals and then just was like dropped.
that's
And like
crazy.
it happened at multiple state championships where he was just like, yeah, I did really well. I'm not going to risk losing in top 8. I'm going to drop. So that's the issue with that rating system. But I'm also a firm believer that World should have less people.
I agree.
Uh, so I wish they would go back to only getting a World's invite, and World was held on like Saturday, because right now it's day 1 is on Friday,
Yeah.
day 2 is Saturday, right?
Hmm.
So have Saturday be Worlds and go back to having a grinder on Friday night. Make it so Worlds is significantly less players, but everyone gets a chance to play in Worlds, even if you couldn't play throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because the grinders are no joke. I don't know if you weren't around when
No, it
they
wasn't. It
existed, right?
wasn't. No.
So they were pretty much single elimination. They were single elimination, cut to top. It was either 8 or 16, depending on the year.
Fuck.
Those are the people who got their invite through day one.
That's not bad.
So it
But
was,
that's still.
yeah. So, and then there were about 128 and that's how they did the math. They made it to where it was the perfect amount of numbers, perfect amount of people
to have
in
like
day two.
128. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope.
So it's really cool how they used to do that, and more people went to Worlds. Because think about it, all your friends who are like, I don't have an invite, I'm not going to go to Worlds. It's like, well, no, you can play in the grinder.
Yes.
Like, get that invite. And it's like,
you lose one, but it doesn't matter. You're already there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You're there. It's like, yeah, is this tournament hard? Absolutely. But you're trying to get your Worlds invite in one tournament.
Yeah.
So it's it deserves to be hard.
Was there anyone that like got through the grinder and was like, world champion? Did that ever happen?
Jason Klasinski.
Really? That had to be. I know he won like 3 times or something.
Yeah,
but one of them was a grinder.
Won with, Dark. Yeah, when he won with Darkrai, he grinded in and then won Worlds. That was the only time.
That makes it super significant. Then, like, I think for them to take that away is nuts. Then because it gave them a champion at one point.
Yeah, but I think Pokemon they want to have as many people in Worlds as possible. That's just their thing.
Yeah. They
enjoy the big numbers, so that's what they're going for. And if that's the direction they're going with, whatever, that's fine.
It is.
I just have to deal with it. I guess the main reason I dislike it the most is because there's so many people in day one that there's no meta.
Yeah.
Like when it's a smaller tournament, there's a meta where the top players are playing the best deck because they want to win. But when we get a bunch of Pokedads or Pokemoms or like brothers and sisters that don't really play but they want some cups, and they're playing the most jank random decks, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I can't beat you, but why are you playing that? Like, congratulations, you beat me.
That's funny because of the decks you play. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that you said that. It's like, yep, I got your ass. But the difference is you put a lot of time into a deck. They just picked up some fucking
That's true.
trash.
Maybe I can't say anything. You're right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, dude. It's kind of hard that you said that. But it's funny. Right. I agree with you. But
that's the thing, though. It's like a regionals. Yes. I play those weird decks in regionals. Yes. That World, if you look at my Worlds decks, which aren't anywhere, I play really solid decks. Like I played Gardevoir Sylveon when it first came out.
Okay.
Last year I played Mew 3.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember. You were doing well for a little while, weren't you?
No, I went 0-3. It was awful.
Oh fuck!
I lost on stream round 1.
I remember you were on round 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost on stream to Diego round 1 because he drew the Thunder Mountain.
Yes.
Whatever. Yes. But I play like solid decks.
You did sweep him the game 1 though. I remember you did bop him game 1. I walked away. I was like, he's got that shit. And then I come back and you're like, no. I was like,
yeah,
oh, fuck. Yeah.
It was rough. But yeah, Worlds is a different story. I think I actually play solid decks Worlds. I'm trying to think of the last rogue deck I played in a World Championship.
Is that maybe this year? Is that the year? Maybe it's time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I played Greninja. But
that's always rogue. That's better when it was better. It was rogue.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But Greninja, I mean, I gave it one last run, is what I said. Right. It was like, I'm playing Greninja, and then I was when Ray Marshadow was a thing, and I was like, hey, I lost every time.
Yes.
But this is what I mean. I played Greninja, and I went up against Venusaur. Like, what?
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, how is that counter Greninja in Worlds? Like,
I got you, yes.
Cool. Like, who does that?
That's fucked up.
So, yeah, it's just... But yeah, Worlds is a different story. I play real decks. It's weird.
Yeah,
maybe I should stop.
Maybe you should stop. I don't think you should. I think
stop with the real
your style is way too cool to not continue into Worlds.
I thought Mew 3 was cool.
Yeah, I know. When I talked to you, you're like, dude, my list, I got it. And then you weren't. But let's be honest, you weren't wrong. Like the deck won the tournament. All right?
And I will never deny they had a better deck than I did.
Yeah.
I will never deny that. Theirs was significantly better, and they did more than I did.
Yes.
Like,
you're like, fuck, I fucked up. But it is what it is.
Yep.
So when you look going in forward into this game, we get a bunch of rule changes. How do you feel? How do you feel about the going first change?
I think it's awesome. It
Yeah.
significantly nerfs so much stuff that made it so it wasn't fun to play the game.
I agree. Um,
Like, I now can go second and not worry about my opponent turn 2 6 energies on a Mewtwo divide GX.
that's
Like,
true.
sweet. I can play the game now.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't get Marnie turn 1. So I always get a turn now.
Yeah. I like that. I like the more when you first hear about it and the more casual people that talk about it, it's like, oh, the game sucks now, like I can't do this. But when you say it like that, it's good for the game. Like
Yeah.
in the long run, it's like certain decks you will that there's more of a decision to be made now, which is good. Where certain decks you'll be okay with going second, and some decks you still have to go first. Like if you're gonna play ADP, you need that energy attachment. That energy attachment is too good.
I think the majority of the decks still go first.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
played a lot. I've been testing quite a bit, and the people who immediately jumped on this ruling was like, everyone's going to pick to go second now. Significantly underestimate what it means to be able to evolve first or attach an
Or
energy
attach
first.
first. That's what
Like those are big freaking deals in this
right.
game.
That's what I like when people start talking that I'm like, dude, there's like you guys are crazy if you think that Pokemon didn't test this. Like
Right.
they tested this and they've decided that attaching an energy or evolving your Pokemon is that much it's that strong that
Right.
we can take away supporters.
Absolutely.
That's what I was like that I think that was like my first tweet. I was like, "Oh, Pokemon decided that attaching an entity is so strong that we don't need supporters."
Right.
And like, I think people were like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like, exactly what I said. That
Yeah.
attaching an energy first is game changing. It's
Big deal.
It's
Yeah.
a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we might see a wait and see hammer now. Maybe. Who knows? I
Right.
don't know.
But it's like ADP. Yeah, attaching an energy first is how they win most of their
Yes.
games.
If like a wait and see, people were putting wait and see hammers in their deck, and they just win. Like,
Yeah.
oh, get rid of your one energy. Now I'm ahead. You have 2 more turns before you even attack. It's over.
Right.
And like that's how strong just attaching an energy is.
And I think there's the only deck I've come across that I would still think probably wants to go first, but could go second successfully is Baby Blonde.
Baby Arms? Okay.
I think Green's decks maybe want to go second, but Green's deck only Green's deck that plays Welder, so Baby Blonde.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, Welderish decks?
Because like if you're playing Guardian, you want that energy attachment turn
Yeah.
1. I guess they can use it. Maybe Guardian, but Guardian sucks. Zacian's Guardian's finally dead. I'm so
yeah,
happy.
the
I hate
steel
that deck
shit
more than anything.
seems
It's
insane.
busted. That card
Yeah, it
is
seems so
stupid.
busted.
It's so good.
I was like, for like the last like 4 sets, we secretly just been getting all this like random steel shit. I'm like, why do we have
Right.
goggles? What is this for? This makes no sense. These cards don't go with anything. And then they're like, oh yeah, here you go, guys. Here's the attacker. Took 4
Yeah.
sets, but here he is. I'm
Yeah.
like, and here's Dark Patch to go with it. I'm like,
Even ADP felt like a beginning act for Zacian.
Yep, 100%. I'm like, what? Oh, thanks. Thank you. Now we're here.
Cool. And the fact that you can play it in literally every deck.
Yeah.
It just turn 1. Oh, I'm going first. Cool. Quick ball Zacian, draw 3. Sick.
Actually, it's fucking nuts. That deck
I
is
love
actually
it.
nuts.
And without a way to bring up V Pokemon right now, other than like custom catchers or Pokemon catcher, it's great.
Yeah,
Just
I
chill.
feel like I really like Pokemon Catcher now. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know how other people feel, but I'm like, fuck this. Like, not 2 cards. I think your deck just got flooded with a lot more items than people know, and playing 4 custom catchers is just not going to be very easy to do anymore.
I've been saying this to my friends in Arizona about because did you play back when Pokemon Catcher was actually a card?
I started exactly after they changed it.
Okay, so I played when it was broken.
But yeah, when you just
best
went
card
to
in the
be your
game.
Pokemon.
Yeah, when it was just Gust.
Yes.
So when we transitioned with that rule change to being a flip, the worst feeling in the world is playing 4 Pokemon Catchers in your deck, flipping 4 tails, and immediately taking them out after the event. Happened multiple times to me. Where I was like, I'm never playing this card again.
Yeah, flipping coins is some shit. Hey, we got Will though. Come on.
That's true. You can will it.
I don't know how good that is, but we can do that.
No, Will's pretty bad.
It's so bad.
I wish Will said all flips this turn, but
Yes.
it's only one.
How busted is that? Blissey, get back
Yeah,
in
with
here.
the new Sea King. Oh,
The Sea King. Holy fuck.
the Sea King. So I'm making the Sea King work somehow.
All right, that's
that card.
That's what's up. Well, also, what do you think going into expanded? How much of a change is going second, or not playing a support one?
I think it's once again. I think it's huge because it's slow. It slows down expanded. As weird as that is,
right?
Expanded's always been just a run and gun format, but this slows it down significantly.
I think it gives potential to non-big basic decks,
right?
Which is dope.
Like, you mean I can play my Pokemon down and actually have a chance because I went second?
Right.
Like, because if, let's say Dark Box goes first, and they got to play their Sycamore, right? So they now have 7 energies on the field turn 1, and I have a freaking lone whatever active. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to draw my card for turn, play my Bridget, pass.
Right.
And like, cool, game. Like, that was just
not... Knocking all your Pokemon.
It was just crazy. Like, okay, knockout. It's like, okay, cool. Well, whatever.
That happened this weekend a lot, though, too, right? With Mewtwo's,
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, well, there, kill everything, go.
Yeah, it's just, but slowing it down, even if it's just a little bit, or even like Zork or whatever. It's like if Zork went first, Bridget, and then had turn 2 double Zork, they won.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
That's when the deck was really strong, and I don't even like Zork, but that's when it was good. Like, when they turn 1 Bridget, turn 2 Zorks, like I win the game.
With fucking Hex Maniac, go.
Yeah. But now it's like
trade Hex Maniac, knock you out, go.
Right, exactly. Now it's completely different. I do think Expanded still is a broken format. I don't love Expanded. I think if they wanted to fix Expanded, there's 2 very easy cards to ban to change the format completely.
Okay.
And that's Battle Compressor and VS Seeker.
Agreed.
You get rid of those 2 cards and Expanded actually, like, it actually seems really cool.
Really? I think it would change so much.
Yeah, think about it. So, like, item lock gets significantly worse, right? So we don't have to worry about item lock because half of the items you lock are Battle Compressor and VS Seekers. So that's cool. Second thing is decks slow down. You don't have to worry. Ninja Boy Bird Trio is not fair.
No.
Like, it's not a fair thing to do.
When I was playing it, I was like, wait, this is busted. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I just turn 1, got 300 HP with 4 energies in play. Cool. I'm the best player ever.
Yes.
But you get rid of Battle Compressor, which is the engine in most decks. You get rid of VS Seeker so people can't just Guzma every turn. Yeah. Or they have to pick and choose when they use their important supporters. Mm-hmm. Because then you also get to bring back Hex Maniac and Getsis. Because no supporter turn 1, Getsis loses a lot of effect because you can't use it turn 1. But if there's no VS Seeker, I think Getsis is a perfectly fine card to play in a deck. I don't care.
I agree. Same with Hex. If there's no VS Seeker, yes.
If you're playing a deck with 4 Hex Maniacs in it, congratulations.
Right.
I don't think it's going to do very well.
No, me neither.
But when you can play 1 plus 4 VS Seekers and you're like, cool, now I have access to Hex every turn or other stuff.
Yes.
So I think if they get rid of those, bring some cards back, I think it could be a really good format.
Right. I enjoy Expanded more than Standard recently because recently it's been trash.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm like, but I like the argument's so good because so many decks run off those 2 cards.
Right.
Battle Compressor, like low key, fucking Phantom Forces was like the best set ever dropped, almost.
Right?
Yeah, like throughout when it dropped, you're like, this is cool. We played like 2 VS Seekers in our decks. We're like, whatever. Battle Compressor. Yeah. Oh, Battle Compressor. Oh, it's only good in Night March. Then 3 years later, like every deck plays all of these all the time.
Right.
What else is in this set? There's like so many cards in this set that was fucking busted. I was like, looking back, I'm like, Phantom Forces was by far like maybe top 2, top 3 set.
That was the set to buy. when let's say you were getting into the game, it was buy Phantom Forces, get your VS Seekers, get your Mega Manetrics, buy into Phantom Forces. Now it's Sword and Shield base set for sure.
Yeah.
Get into the game, anybody buy Sword and Shield base set or cards from it.
Yes, because
that is changing everything.
Yeah, it did. I think the ball search is game changing.
Oh my! Have you actually played a game with Quick Ball yet?
I haven't.
It's the best thing in the world.
Is it?
I'm the happiest person.
Is it better?
Ever.
Do you like it better than the NES ball?
Oh, it's way better than NES ball.
Yeah, discarding card is so underrated. I think a lot of people don't realize how good that is.
Discarding card is a benefit.
Yes, everyone says it's not, and I'm like, but how many cards in this game let you discard a card?
Yeah,
there's not a lot.
Discarding card is such a benefit, especially with what's out, and putting it into your hand. Quick Ball is now a detonate.
That's true.
NES ball was never a detonate.
Oh yeah, it goes in your hand. Fuck yeah.
Quick Ball goes in your hand. You can detonate now, which is the coolest thing.
Right. Do you think with the turn one being such a you can't play a sorter, is it higher than the counts or is Lot Bunny too good, you can't play that shit?
2, 3 maybe in some decks, but maybe 1 honestly, just for the 1 of Quick Ball detonate play. Right now my my Frostmoth list plays 1 detonate just because it's an extra out.
Right.
But detonate is still a liability because Great Catcher is still good. Right now currently with 1 Sword and Shield set is the best catcher effect.
Okay.
Because everyone's still playing tag teams and GXs, so Great Catcher's still the best. Yeah, it's unfortunate you can't bring up the Vs, but I mean, come on. It's a coin flip or you're playing 4 custom catchers.
Yeah. I think the Vs are pretty game changing too when you talk like cards. At the end of the day, like your power plants, your shrines of punishments, these type of cards just aren't very great. Your Great Catcher,
Safeguard is bad now.
Yep, Safeguard's not good.
Which is cool. I like that.
I agree. I've always thought that ability is just so childish.
Right.
So fucking, especially when you get those decks that was like those 4 Hoopa decks that don't even attack you.
Yeah, they don't do anything.
I'm like, fuck you guys. You guys are stupid. But that's
now we get to avoid that, which is sweet.
Super sweet.
Yeah.
when you look going forward in the standard format, it's going in the right direction?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I'm really excited.
Okay.
I was the other night when I opened a pre-release kit and I was going through and I've got some packs and whatever. And I was going through it. I saw the new card, the new float stone, the air balloon. Nice. Oh my gosh, Quick Ball, Evolutionary Incense. Like all these cards that we were just missing. I was like, we get Ordinary Rod, which is the most busted rod they printed ever.
Dude, when I read that, I was like,
Jesus,
wait a minute, that's better than fucking Super Rod? What?
Yeah, I'm on the side that it's better, but I understand the side that says it's worse.
Yes, I agree.
But I'm on the side that
the argument's hard. I think the argument would be really hard for you to say that card's worse.
Yeah,
but I mean, I get it.
All these cards we were missing are now all we're missing for the format to be really good is some sort of field blower effect. We need some sort of tool.
We don't have that shit yet.
We have Faba, but
that's not the same.
We need one.
What do you feel? A lot of people are saying we need some type of ability lock. Is that?
No, absolutely not. Ability lock's the dumbest thing in the world. No.
Thank you. I agree. I've never been a fan of Garbodor. I always thought that shit was fucking ruining the game more than
ability lock
anything.
Is actually the dumbest thing in existence. Anyone who says that doesn't like playing Pokemon.
Thank you. I was like, that's not fun. That shit's not fun.
It's not enjoyable to play. No one will tell you they have the best time of their lives playing Garbotoxic.
Right? You put a card down, you put a fucking tool on it, and you're like, oh, I'm having fun. You're not having fun. Shut up.
No, you aren't. You might be having fun winning, but no, you're not having fun playing that card.
For the longest time, I didn't want to play Let Loose because, I felt like that wasn't fun. I'm like, and then I started playing it. I played at fucking Portland in my Lucario. I'm like, you know what? No wonder this card's just fucking busted. This card's stupid. And I think Marty kind of does that now.
I actually, while I was on my way home today, And when I got home, I was actually having this conversation with someone about Marnie specifically. They were
Okay.
like, "Well, can't isn't Marnie just like let loose like it's bad?" And I was like, "So Marnie is it's amazing. Like that card is so good.
I thought
The
so.
fact that it just puts it to the bottom of your opponent's deck is huge.
That's
Like people don't realize how
insane.
important that is. Like that's like crazy, especially when people are playing Sycamores right now
Yeah.
or Magnolias, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna draw the top 7. Wow, I still can't get to that card I needed that
Nope.
I got last turn and put it at the bottom of my deck.
Mm-hmm.
So one, Marnie is super good, and yeah, it's a really good disruptive card. But they gave us all these consistency cards.
Yeah.
They gave us Quick Ball to find Detonates. They gave us Magnolias. Everyone like higher supporter counts right now because we don't have to maybe play Tate and Liza because we want an extra support.
Right.
Like, come on. So, and then Quick Ball getting Detonate also increases consistency so
That's
much. It's
true.
ridiculous.
That's
So,
true.
yes, it's kind of like Let Loose, but also the
It's
fact that
also your
it's a
supporter.
different format.
Yeah.
So, Let Loose before Worlds, like before the rotation,
Yeah.
was broken because it was like, well, we don't really have anything.
Yeah. You don't have an answer to it.
Like it was just like not really that great. Like so now it's we have answers, decks are being built, and like Marnie's being played in most decks. Like my supporter line right now is 4 Magnolias, 4 Cynthias, 2/3 Marnies.
I
Like
agree.
four quick balls and a detonate. It's like I'm not dead drawing
Yeah.
off of this. And if I do, okay, it hit me, but it doesn't happen consistently.
Right.
And
I
the
think.
supporter thing is, it's not searchable. That's
Right.
another thing.
I think people when they look at that card and they're like, "Oh, let loose." I'm like, it's almost like that. Putting them at the bottom of the deck is so much different. Like
Yeah,
that is the true like key thing on that card is like
right.
if someone ever Stevens on your ass and you play that, it's like get fucked. Good luck seeing that card ever again.
I've honestly been debating putting Underground Expedition in my deck. So they mark it. I'm like, all right.
All right, let me get that shit back.
I need that card
That's
actually.
dude, like
It's actually kind of
like
cool.
these cards fall. It's crazy because you look at that and you're like, oh yeah, dude, that actually would work. And
Right.
like, I mean, I don't know if Pokemon intended that, but it's there. And like Ingo and Emmett or whatever does the same type of shit.
Right, exactly. Draw from your bottom or
Draw
whatever.
from your bottom or top or whatever it does. Yeah.
That one wasn't that good.
but,
That wasn't that good card.
but if someone takes your 3 cards and put that shit at the bottom, it'd be like, all right, let me get that shit back.
I actually like that hand.
Yeah, that's like I think it's dope. I think a lot of it's refreshed, and I think you'll see a lot of more like people. I mean, this happens a lot when a new set drops. People are gonna flock to cups and shit and play this
Right.
new stuff, and it'll be fun. And I'm excited for it. I think
Rare Candy's back.
Rare Candy's definitely back.
You can play Rare Candy now.
Yep, you can play stage 2 decks because the slower format. People don't like. I mean, there are going to be stupid decks. There's going to be the Malamar stupid deck, but
Absolutely.
like you said, there you have as long as you build your deck with outs, you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's still best deck in formats. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
Like there's still Mewtwo Malamar. There's still ADP Zacian.
Yes.
Like Pikarom is way better now.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Pikarom is way better. Yeah.
Those decks still exist, but and yeah, they probably are going to run the format still. So if you're thinking the format's significantly changing, like you're wrong. But you can do well with more rogue stuff now.
Yes.
Like, you
it's
can
not
come to a
impossible.
Right, yeah, you can come to a tournament with a deck that, like, Stage 2 Charizard comes to mind because that's a deck I've always liked. But it was never consistent enough. But now that we have quick balls and we have draw supporters like Magnolia, it's like, okay, well, it might be, you can play it now. Like,
Right.
it's playable. Decks weren't playable,
Right.
but now they're playable.
Like Sycamore changes or whatever, professors, whatever, changes everything. That card's busted, and I think they looked at stupid how like some decks could be stupid, but that's an answer. There's an answer. Right. Boom. Let me keep playing. I think we're heading in the right way, and then I got like before we wrap this all up, you got Pokemon doing the streams now at the events and shit. Where do you stand on that? Do you like that Pokemon stepping up and actually
Yeah,
doing
absolutely.
shit?
I think they should have been doing it from day one. But let's be honest, they are streaming VGC.
Yes.
We're kind of just there. TCG is
Correct.
definitely not why they're doing this. I mean, I think it was Dallas was the first time they did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their VGC stream, they streamed it for the first like 5 rounds of the day or 6 rounds, and they had like 18,000 people watching just on Twitch.
Yeah, total with YouTube was over 30K.
Yeah, exactly. And then TCG pops on and it drops to 4K, 5K all the other.
Combined, it was like 5K.
Don't kid yourself. They're not streaming TCG. It's just they're going to be, and I'm okay with that.
Right?
Like,
that's why I always say on the podcast, I'm like, dude, we will take the aftershock.
Yeah, we'll take it.
That.
Also, VGC, I do not blame it. That is fun to watch, and it is enjoyable to play. Like, yeah, VGC is sweet.
The one thing I've always thought that should get more viewers is they should do Pokken. I thought that when I forgot what worlds I was at. I was playing in the open at some worlds. I look up on the big screen and Pokken's there. I'm just fucking zoned in on that.
You're like, yeah, it's just sick.
And then they're like, it's your turn. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, Scoop.
That shit's good. I'm like, I think that game could be bigger than any of them because that game's so not. You don't have to know anything. That there's a life bar. When it's gone, that other guy won. That's all you need to know. There's no fucking anything.
But yeah, it's fun. Yeah. I'm glad they're doing it.
Yeah, I do too. I think the game's gonna grow in that aspect.
Right.
At the end of the day, what are you in this for the long run? Are you playing till 80? Are you winning worlds?
I mean, as far as I know, I've had no reason to stop. Yeah. I guess. I mean, maybe let's say all my friends stop in Arizona. Outside of Arizona, everyone quits. It's like, well, I mean, if all of my friends in Pokemon quit, there wouldn't be a competitive scene.
I agree.
Like honestly,
it'd be hard though, right?
No matter what, like I have friends.
Yeah. Somewhere.
So it's like really hard for me to say that I would stop playing. I just don't have a reason to.
Yeah.
Something in life happens or something, maybe. I mean, something happens, but right now there's no reason for me to stop playing, and I love it. I still have fun.
Like win worlds, you're not walking away with the championship. We going again?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. I mean, winning worlds gets me a tattoo.
Oh shit! Is that a?
Yeah, that's a thing. If I win worlds, I'm getting a tattoo of whatever Pokemon I win worlds with.
Okay, all right.
So, we'll see.
So now you gotta start playing those rogue decks, dude.
Right, exactly. When I was playing Gardevoir that one year, I was like, ooh, wait, am I really gonna get a Gardevoir?
I don't know if I want that.
And I was actually doing good with that deck too, and I was like, oh, this is a real thing. I was day 2 automatically from top 16.
That's what's up.
And I started 2-0, and then I hit Glisspod Garb, the Japanese rogue deck, and then I hit 2 of the 3 Mega Rayquazas that were in the room.
Yeah.
Which was the auto loss, so I was like, cool.
Fuck.
No tattoo for me.
Well, it might be all right with that, actually.
Yeah.
No, actually, that Pikachu trophy is worth it at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I had Pedro Torres on here. We were talking about it. I'm like, at the end of the day, when you go to Worlds and you see those Pikachu trophies in the case, I want one.
Yeah.
I want to earn
shout
one.
out to Pedro for being, like, one of the nicest people in the world.
By far. As someone that, like, I've met 3 times in my life. And like now I'm like super close friends with him. Like we message each other. He's such a nice guy. It's insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's great.
Right. And I don't know if you haven't watched that podcast, it's insane. His story is insane. He started from like not playing to two years later. He's top 4 at Worlds, and it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And like, does that harp on you at all that you played this long and your world performances aren't where you want them to be?
No.
You're like, no, I'm good. That's good. I think that's a great mindset. I think a lot of players, like I interview a lot of people, and things really do harp on people, and people do have these mental problems where they get so flustered because they're not doing well, and like to see that you're just like, nah, I'm good. I think it's fantastic. I love your playstyle. I love that you're you play these rogue decks, and then when I ask you questions like that, and you're just, I'm good. It's a breath of fresh air, actually.
Playing the rogue decks helps with that because it's like, I picked this deck knowing this could happen. My tournament's not ruined.
That's good.
It's
That's
cool.
What's up, dude?
I mean, you come up to me like every tournament that we're at together, and you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm having fun."
Yep. What are you playing? What are you doing? I always have to know. Like, there's I don't think there's anyone else at the tournament I really like care what you're playing. But if I see you, I need just give me what Pokemon it is. I know it's gonna be something fucking weird. We're playing Stoutland. Okay, sure, dude. Sure, whatever.
Pretty much.
Whatever that is. That's what's up. Well. That's all I got. If you got any shout outs you want to give?
I mean, just shout out to Someone's PC. I love those guys. By the way, I might be starting either my own YouTube channel or Twitch streaming. Don't know about it. It's in the working. We'll see. Maybe be on the lookout.
Yeah, if you do, send me that link. I'll put it in the description of this video.
So we'll see.
Definitely check it out down there.
Might be happening. I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
Dude, I think you got that personality. As much as you're in the shadows right now, but your deck building is insane. And I think if you did start doing that on stream, as much, I don't know if you're someone who would really care if people knew what you're playing.
No, I don't like.
That's what I said. I'm like, I don't feel like you're that type of person. So I think if you did your theorying on stream, people would love that shit. I think you should.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. Like, how can I make these bad decks competitive? And that's people like that.
People love that. I think I love that shit. That's what. Like, I always messaged. Like, I messaged you on the Bird Trio. I'm like, hey, what did you change? There's no more let loose and whatever, you know. And you're like, what? I don't know yet. What did you change? I'm like, okay, let's see what we got here. You know?
Yeah, I was like, I haven't touched it.
I haven't touched it. I'm like, that's fair, but yeah, that's dope. I really hope you do that. Just let me know, dude. And
yeah, for sure.
I mean, people are blowing up on. I mean, blowing up's a hard word, but there's people getting good viewership on TCG now that hasn't ever happened before. So I think it's a good time.
It's pretty cool
for you to hop on.
I'm happy for them. Those are all my good friends too. So I'm like super happy for them.
That's what's up. But if that's all you got, it's time to scoop
Thank you for having me. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Shout out to Theta Town.
Yes, I love it, dude. All right, guys. Time to scoop it up.